Good morning, good afternoon, Grand Rising. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Today is April 1st. Welcome all Powur Solar Warriors out there. Everyone is welcome to our Tuesday team training that starts today at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, early. Uh, it's not April Fool's. It did start early today, so thank you for being on here. If you're watching the recording, like, comment, smash that like button, and happy Tuesday, Tom Cotter. Happy April.
Happy April 1st. No jokes. We're here. We're here. We're doing this. I'm wondering who thought, oh, they're just, trying to get me to show up early. The joke's on you. We did start early today.
That's right. All right. Let's move into to some awesome updates and some success stories this month of April. We got one gentleman who might have closed 10, 11, 12 deals last month alone, guys. We are privileged to have him as a leader in Powur. So, Owen, I'm going to pick on you while other people are thinking of a success story, going to raise their hand, type it in the chat. I know Melissa and Jake are going to share a success story, but Owen, if you can just share some nuggets, bro, congrats on an epic March. Over 11 deals closed.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. All I gotta say is it's not fake when you say work hard in the winter and you're not even seeing the results, and then all of a sudden follow up. I think a lot of people are just this one sit close clown show. Like, sure, a one sit close is great, but you need to drip on your clients, follow up with your clients until they say no, and respectfully get back to them. So that's what I did. I had new clients, multiple sources of leads, and it turned out being a great month. But now, it's April 1st. My month sucks already because I'm at zero. So if you keep focusing on what you did last month, you suck. Focus on what's next. I'm already off to a shitty start. Excuse my language, but it's been a shitty month already as we're 9 hours into this month. We got more to do. And I think Jelly Roll, I said to you a thing, I said too much stuff to Bernasso, but when he won his award, he was just saying, look, the front windshield is greater than the mirror in
A
your
rear
car.
view mirror for a
The rearview
reason.
mirror. Yeah, it's don't even look at that thing. Like, just keep going forward and keep on KFS, all right?
KFS, keep freaking selling. That's right.
If we're PG that shit. Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, Owen. Dude, huge congrats again to March. 11 deals signed, everybody. Leading the way, helping setters, closing deals, personal deals, putting in the grind. Do the math. I mean, what's 10 of those at 6,000 each, guys? So hats off to you, Owen Carey.
Oh, one more thing. Only one deal did not have batteries, so all proper size systems.
Of course they do. We wouldn't expect anything less. The other success story share, one or two more shares out there this last week or two. Anyone feeling momentum, feeling the energy aligning, feeling Powur 4.0 success with this new free model?
Hey JB, I got to share for y'all. I actually have two of my new sellers on the platform on the call today, and they're both badasses in their own right with great stories, and would love to introduce them to say hello real quick. So Carlos, you want to start? You want to come off camera real quick or come on camera and say hello?
Yeah, how's it going, guys? I'm Carlos Carrasco. I'm from, I guess, Central Coast, California. I've been in the industry for 10 years. Um, I've known Rick for quite some time, just being in the industry. I started off with Sunrun. Um, he recruited me so easily, and I'm part of the team, and I couldn't be happier.
Welcome,
Awesome.
Carlos.
Welcome, Carlos. Carlos, by the way, was with another larger solar company and built a pretty big team over there and bringing a lot of his guys over. So that's amazing. And then Kyle Boyd, Mr. Kyle, can you jump on real quick?
Hey guys,
What's up,
how you
brother?
doing? My name's Kyle Boyd, environmental scientist. I run a spiritual podcast, which is how I met Rick, and I've sold solar for a few years now. I'm super stoked to be on board.
Welcome, Kyle.
If you
Perfect
couldn't tell by the
alignment.
accent, he's a Massachusetts guy, New England.
Well,
New England in
yeah,
the house.
Beautiful. Well done, Rick. Welcome to the team, everyone. Happy to have you here. Perfect alignment and synergy with the right platform. So Congrats. Let's do one more, Philip. And then if you'd like, type any wins in the chat as well. Go for it, Philip. Just make sure to click unmute for us. The microphone button. See if I can pop it up for you. You're still on mute right now.
Hang on. Now
There
you
we
can hear me,
go.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I appreciate it. Just wanted to share a win. Tom actually helped me work on this deal, and it is being installed today in Phoenix. So it's a great way to start off everything that was talked about with the first share. You know, we need to focus on the positives. And so it's a great way to start April 1st, 2025. Looking forward to throwing some more deals in. So anyways, that's my win. Sorry, I'm doing several things since this is an early meeting.
You're cutting out a little, Philip.
Glad to be on and glad to share the knowledge you just.
Thank you so much, Philip. Appreciate that. And congrats on an installation. I hope it's very successful for you. We need to blow up Arizona more. All right, moving on. A couple more things. Tom with a share of the day.
Yeah. All right. So today's perspective isn't about tactics, it's about mindset. And there's one mindset that separates the average from the unstoppable. We're in solar. That means chaos, reschedules, rejections, installs delayed, customers going dark, teammates disappearing, the solar coaster, right? Does that sound familiar? So how does a warrior respond? They say one word, and you're going to hear what that word is in just a minute. But this is a video by Jocko Willink, a former Navy SEAL commander. He has an amazing book you can look up. So he delivers a mindset that I want ingrained in the way that I operate. So I wanted to share this with you. So watch it, absorb it. Got a few follow-up thoughts afterwards. Jonathan, play the video. Good. Follow up harder. Ghosted? Good. Saved you time. Team member flaked? Good. More room for someone better.
Installation
Warrior.
rescheduled. Good.
Domestic content?
Good.
Good. Warriors hunt for the lesson inside the loss. They don't crumble, they capitalize. So here's your homework. Pick one thing that went wrong recently. Make a mental note of that. Now reframe it today and over the next few days and the rest of this week. Reframe it. Say good. View it as a gift and then go win anyway. Jonathan, back to you.
Powerful share today, Tom. Appreciate that. All words that I'm sure we need to hear. If you like that, give it some love in the chat there, everybody. Real quickly, I got 2 updates for you. Future trainings, powercalendar.com. As always, if you're new here, take a setter surge, take an onboarding, jump into some trainings. We have an operations live update on Monday, once a month, that you will want to hear next week with Ethan Miller, our COO, and some other executives. It's always a fantastic call, especially with changes around domestic content and other operational changes. Of course, one of the biggest solar events, if not the best, in Vegas this month that a lot of us will be at. We're talking about today. And an update, our master class was pushed back a little bit to April 23rd. So update your calendars there. If you registered, you got the updated email as well. And of course, market development meetings. Read your Monday newsletter. Changes on equipment. New Jinko panel 430s are happening. Domestic content for GoodLeap will be a transition. So that's good. And so much more, guys. Of course, today we're going to talk about the big event that is now free, which is amazing. I want to hear more about that we're going to be at here in almost 2 weeks. And lastly, social media shareable of the day. Of course, we got to put a SolarCon graphic. I already posted mine on social media. And it's real simple. It's like, hey, will you be at SolarCon Las Vegas 2025? Have you attended? Have you been? Will you be there? So that is today's social media shareable of the day. And of course, it is in our Google Drive folder underneath the folder called social media shareable of the day, with tons of other videos and content and photos in this Google Drive that you guys can post all the time. So with that, we have an esteemed gentleman on here that I've known for many years now. And in my opinion, he's always trying to up level our solar industry, our community, bring together the best leaders. His Morning Energy Show podcast is fantastic. He did an amazing interview with Jonathan Budd. He's very artful with the podcast. So someone dropped the podcast in the chat so you guys could watch that interview with Jonathan Budd. But more importantly, this is the 4th annual solar convention that he's been throwing, one of the largest for the last few years here. And despite struggles and challenges, he's still making it happen. And the ticket is freaking free, just like Powur 4.0. Powur 4.0 is now free too. All, massive value, guys. I'd love to see you there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and bring up Jake Hess. And Tom, if you want to maybe just kick us off, like maybe he can introduce himself for an opening question. Jake Hess, welcome to the Tuesday morning meeting.
Thank you.
Welcome, Jake. Glad to have you here, brother.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so how did, I know that your story is wrapped into SolarCon, but what got you to the point in your career where you said, I need to create SolarCon? What was happening in your professional, personal life that led to you wanting to do this? Right?
Good
Great.
question. I actually, if it's okay, I want to jump back a little bit to something Pernasso said about rescheduled installs. I know he was kind of tossing it out there as a joke, but is it all right if I talk on that, Tom, for a second?
Go for it, man.
It's so crazy. All across the country, I hear these sales reps are always wanting the smoothest installation process. And through all of my years of solar, I have literally never gotten a referral from someone that had a very smooth installation process. Like, let's say that this job gets signed and sold, and then it gets installed in 14 days. The homeowner, or two weeks, a month, whatever it is, the homeowner has never gotten solar before. And when that process is smooth and they don't hear from anybody, it's exactly like it's supposed to be. They're like, okay, cool. I bought this product and it got installed. I don't know what the big deal is. When problems occur, that's when me as a sales rep, that's when I got to go to the homeowner and show them how well I was taking care of them, how I navigated issues and responsibilities that would typically fall on maybe someone else's shoulder, but I took them on as my own. And when I showed them a greater experience, referrals started coming in. The accounts that are smooth, they just don't bring any value except that initial payment that you get. It's everything that happens with all of the accounts that have speed bumps that brings you all the value and all of the referrals. So speaking about warriors, the way that the perspective that you have when you look at those things is, I think it's very important. So I think it's a beautiful message you guys are delivering here today. But Tom, thanks for letting me indulge in that. Let me go ahead and answer the question you asked now. I was consulting businesses across the country, and it was so crazy because like Powur is a good example. I would meet this beautiful family and this human, this man that hired me, and I sat down and I had dinner with them. Their wife made dinner. The kids were running up to me. It reminded me of my own son, and it was just I have these really good experiences across the country, and this was in the East Coast. I flew to Arizona where I sat down with a whole nother person, whole nother family, sat down to dinner with them. Kids ran up to me, and I brought up this other person I was at, and they're like, "Oh, I hate them." I was like, "Well, why? They're just like you. What do you mean you hate them?" And they said, "Well, they love sun power." Rest in peace, sun power. They love sun power, and I love Sunrun, and they're idiots. And I'm like, because of a product? Like, are you kidding me? if you just met the person, you're identical, you're alike. And all of this, I want to say hate was being spewed throughout the entire industry on social media, Facebook groups, personal attacks, lawsuits. And I realized that if people got the same experience that I did, where they actually got to experience the person in real life, I think it would solve a lot of problems in the industry. And there wasn't a place where the entire residential industry could get together under one roof. And so that's when I was like, this has got to happen. I've got to unify this industry and get everyone underneath one roof so they can actually see that the person that they are slamming or the person they think they're slanderizing or saying is doing horrible things, not only will they get to come and learn the product itself directly from the horse's mouth, but they will also be able to meet the people and somewhat heal the industry. The only reason I wanted that is because I think solar is such a beautiful and simple thing. I don't think that anybody needs to have any complications outside of the act of selling solar and getting it installed. Lawsuits were dropped after SolarCon 1. New friendships were bonded, businesses merged together. Like there was a lot of good that came out of SolarCon, and that's the reason I did it, Tom.
Yeah, before I got into solar, I don't know if all of you know, but I was in full-time ministry before I got into solar. And when I graduated from Bible college, one of the things I noticed about myself was I was demonizing, how we do that with solar companies, right? We demonize solar companies. And that spills into sometimes our presentations, the way that we talk about other reps and other companies. I recognized this early on, that I was doing this about other churches in the town that believed differently than I did. Not so much with other people, but just in my own head. And when I got into solar in 2006 and started selling, I noticed that same thing happening to myself with other companies in town about Solar City and Sunrun. And it almost derailed my solar career, because I had to figure out how to be in solar and not and to be cooperative and friendly and not take this survival of the fittest type of mentality. And like what Rick said in the comments, that we're all in the same team, that's the utilities, that we've got to fight against. So
That's right.
so
That's well
thank you,
put.
Jake. Thank you, Jake. That's good.
One thing I heard in there too, Tom, was that some lawsuits were dropped, people shook hands, people broke bread. And I know one of the questions we had for you, Jake, was something you've seen happen at SolarCon that completely changed someone's life or career. So you already mentioned one there, but when you think on that question for a minute, and the people listening, and why they should attend or buy a plane ticket that might be hard, or leave the kids for 2 days, what are some examples or testimonials? I know there's hundreds, but that you can think of on the top of your head that touched your heart.
That's a good question. And you don't have to leave the kids. We chose Las Vegas because it's very kid friendly. No. Just uh, no, something that I've noticed that's happened is when people come in, I have seen their careers shift. There are some individuals in particular that, I won't name, but watching them come in and just develop new relationships with people that they meet there. The whole conference is just a whole bunch of people that are trying to improve themselves. And if you believe the statement is true in any of those business books that you read or motivational books, that the 5 people you surround yourself with is what you end up becoming, why wouldn't you put yourself in a place where people are doing the same exact thing in your chosen career? And I understand that, everyone has, some people may have an issue calling this a career. Some people may look at it as supplemental income. Some people may look at it as a job. But I don't know when the term career gets used properly. I would say that it's a certain mindset, maybe even over a certain age. I don't know. If you're investing your time into this, and it's something that you're allocating your mindset to, I would just want to put myself around the people that are doing it at the highest level so that I could become the most efficient. And I've seen a few people come into the conference with that mindset, and the partnerships that they made, the friends that they made, you no longer have to wonder where you're going to go and get a lot of your motivation or influence. It can be outside of the Powur circle, while you still remain with Powur. I am outside of the Powur circle, but I absolutely respect Tom and Jonathan Bernasso, Melissa Dawson, Jonathan Budd, like the whole team over there, Cami. Uh, it's just the whole team over there is an amazing team, but it doesn't mean that you can't learn from others. And when I've seen people come in and do that, they can take skills and mindsets that they've learned outside of a circle and bring it back into the circle and not just enhance their careers, but also everyone else around them.
Beautifully said. I can't agree more. At personally experiencing that and benefiting from that, I'm friends with everyone that I've, spoken on a panel or listened to a panel, or Christian DeLuca, and done podcasts and met owners of companies and installers. So yeah, I'm a personal testimonial for that. What else do we got, Tom?
Jake, you've worked with so many people now, you know, pre-SolarCon and now in the era of SolarCon, so many reps and leaders. And you've had a lot, you've gotten to know some of those people who you've had speak on stage and, sessions and things like that. So are there certain, consistent patterns that you see in, people in solar, who break through, versus what we've had over the last couple of years with a lot of burnout, people leaving the industry. So what kind of patterns have you seen for people who are resilient that, that break through to the next level in their, whether they're part-time or whether they see it as a career, I guess?
Yeah, it's going in with, it's the people that go in there with the minds, and I'm not just talking about SolarCon, this is just in general. It's people that go in with a mindset of wanting to retain some sort of value from someone else. It's your circles that are around you. It's the people you can rely on. Uh, if you put yourself in an environment where the people aren't lifting you up at the times that you're down, where you don't feel supported, or you keep having the same issues and you're not replacing the people that can fill those issues for you. I talked earlier about the 5 closest people around you. It doesn't have to be 5. It could be a company. It could be a mindset. I think everyone on here knows I advocate for Powur publicly, because I very much love the culture that has been created at Powur. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on here. You can actually go on anything I've talked about Powur and see that. The culture inside of Powur is something I think the industry should experience, because and some of you on here, if you haven't operated outside of Powur, there's not as big of a support system. And I understand some people in Powur, they they fizzle out sometimes as well. But I would ask, how much time are you investing into the people that are trying to educate you and train you? Are you actually applying those things? And what I've noticed for the people that have been successful is when they go and they seek out relationships or these networked circles that they can rely on for support or mindset shifts, they actually listen to those people and they apply the teachings that they give them, and they give it time and they feed those principles over time. It's not going to come instantly, but over time, if you keep leveling up and you keep bringing new people into your circle that get higher and higher and higher, you just elevate yourself over and over. And it's the people that don't listen to everyone else that's done things before them, that I see are the ones that end up fizzling out, or they don't trust the people and what they're saying, so they don't do it. That's the wrong circle. So who you surround yourself with and how well you implement it, I would say, is the biggest differentiator I've seen in the industry.
One thing I heard there, Jake, was always keep learning, no matter what level you're at. If you're new here, if you're a solar pro, 10, 15-year veteran, you can always be a student, and who you surround yourself with matters. So I think that's why everyone here should try to come to Vegas, to experience that. I'm looking forward to hearing some speakers and workshops and taking notes and helping others and be a student myself. So kind of transitioning there, what is some of the workshops or speakers that you're most excited for, or that, really was going to land for people? I mean, my goodness, how the heck did you get Tony Robbins But speakers or workshops, Jake, can you elaborate on that for people that may not know what to expect or haven't been?
Yeah. First of all, one of the most valuable things, I know I'm advocating for SolarCon. It's just because these questions are coming to me, but I would even say this outside of SolarCon. One of the most valuable things that you could do outside of even going and listening to these panels or speakers is talking with the manufacturers that are going to be there and learning their product. They eat, sleep, drink, and breathe their product every single day. That's their job. And you get to hear the passion come out of them about their product. And when you absorb that and you learn it, when you go into your own meetings or your own appointments with your homeowners, you exude that same passion. You start to collect that passion. And I wouldn't just get biased to one product. Like for example, Franklin batteries are going to be there, but you might want to be agnostic and go learn about all batteries, the ones that Powur carries and the one that Powur supports. If you love the batteries as much as those batteries, the battery people do, your homeowners purchase off of passion. And but as far as the panel topic goes, this one is going to sound a little bit weird because it's kind of the antithesis of everything that sales reps hope for. But I'm actually pretty excited about the sales compliance panel. That panel is going to discuss a massive issue that's growing in the industry, and that's sales reps misinforming homeowners, sometimes by accident and sometimes on purpose. But the misinformation that goes out there to homeowners is actually creating a massive ripple effect throughout the country that is affecting us all the way up to the financiers and their tax equity partners that fund them. It's an issue, and there's businesses out there. For some time, people have been, saying we want regulation, bring regulation in, or regulation is coming, like Paul Revere running through. And guess what? It's on its way. It's one of the reasons SolarCon is free this year. SIA is a big organization that wanted to get away from traditional sales reps given all of the nastiness that's come out of the things that have been promised and the ramifications of that. And there's large leaders in our industry that said, hey, hold on, before you write all of these salespeople off, let's at least deliver the message of what the best practices are and how it's affecting the industry. And so this sales compliance panel we've put together is something I have advocated for years. I think that the contract you are selling is the most valuable asset and tool you have in your entire arsenal of tools that you can use to sell a homeowner. The contract favors the homeowner. No question about that. If you read through it, it says that like if you're selling in California, some of the warranties that Powur has says, hey, if your roof leaks, we're going to come fix it if it happens within 10 years. What? 10 years? They're warranting that roof for penetrations? Like the roofing company that installed it probably hasn't been around for 10 years. This is crazy that they're doing these things, that they're on the hook for these things. They're promising a certain amount of production. They're promising a certain amount of service. And the contract actually can work in your favor in the most magnificent way. And it complements sales compliance. It also gives you referrals. If you go into a home, maybe I have a sales rep come into the house and I can handle the heat and the pressure that they're giving me, the gimmicky one-liners. I can handle that stuff. And I can discern for myself and read through the lines and be like, you know what? The person, I like them. I can see that they're ambitious. I don't necessarily like a lot of the ways they handle things, but I'll do it. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to refer my mom because I don't want to subject her to that type of gimmicky lines and sales practices. And when you I've learned that when I take the contract and I go through and then I put it to the side and I go on with my presentation and they ask a question, what happens if I sell the home? I go grab the contract. Oh, right here it actually says this, and this, and this. And like, oh, okay. And then I slide the contract away. I go over those contracts. I know how to explain the tax credit, which is different than saying that they qualify for it. If you tell a homeowner if they qualify for the tax credit, that's wrong. But Jonathan will tell you, and Tom will tell you, in a lot of these Facebook groups, I tell people understanding the tax credit is, I understand how a car works. Gasoline goes into the engine mixed with oxygen, a spark plug ignites it, you have a controlled explosion that moves the pistons and the car can move. I know how it happens, but I'm not a mechanic. If it breaks down, I can't tell them how to fix it, and I never would try. You can understand how the tax credit works without giving advice on it. And that will help the homeowners understand whether they may qualify or not when they talk with their CPA. So sales compliance is going to be one of the strongest things, and I think if you can embrace it now and understand a lot of the nuances to it, then it will actually work in your favor in a massive way. And the first adopters are going to be the ones that capitalize on it the most.
Lots and lots of wisdom shared there, guys. I love the regulation and the ethics. I couldn't be an advocate of that more. As a friendly reminder, get recheck certified. That's a national license. And there's new organizations that are supporting regulation. And Cynthia had a great idea of doing a contract review training again. We've done them before, but a great time to review a contract training. Look forward to that soon. So I have another question here, and shameless plug, I'll be doing a closer panel with Danny Pessy on one of the stages, so look out for a closer panel. Uh, so I'd love to know, first of all, it's free. That was announced in the last week or two. I'd love to know more how that came to be, what the momentum and value add and shift there was, and of course, you're not going to tell us which day Tony Robbins is speaking, but if you could speak to those two, how it came about, more so, how did the free thing work out, and what can we expect with attendance boosting up?
Yeah, how could I sit in a Powur meeting and learn that everything was going to be free and not steal that idea? That's how that. No, it's very simple actually. There's, in the late in the game, like I'm talking like this is just about 3 weeks ago, somewhere around there. I had a big influx of funding come in from several organizations because of what I said earlier. There's a larger agenda at play than SolarCon and the people that are going up there to speak on the panels on the day-to-day operations that many of you are going to be interested in and the mechanics of selling. There's a bigger agenda. There's this organization called SIA. And SIA is our largest advocate of the solar industry. They're the ones that went to the Biden administration and said, hey, these are the things that would help us in the IRA. They're the ones that went in and convinced Trump, hey, extend the 26% back to 30% and extend it. SIA is our largest advocate for residential and commercial space. And they've partnered up with Recheck. They've partnered up with some of the other organizations out there, the big influence ones. And collectively, all of these organizations, which we're calling the Champions Fund, they've collectively invested money into the conference that allowed us to take some of that capital and make the general admission tickets free because they have a strong message to deliver to the industry this year. And they said, fine, all right, we want everyone there. And so we were like, the best way to do that is let it be free. And so they did. And that big influx of cash and support is, I'll tell you, as a business owner, it's not lost on me, the opportunity that came. I sat in the Powur offices with Bernasso and Cami and Charles Thompson and Melissa, and I even leaned on them for ideas because they're very smart. I leaned on them for ideas of how to make the conference better. They throw beautiful conferences. I was very stressed out and worried. And in the final hour, just because of the network I have, people came in with a strong agenda and dumped money into the organization, which allowed us to do a lot of things. And I believe that if you have good intentions and you have the right circles, those things will likely come to you. So that's how that happened.
Now, last year, Gary V was like a dream for you. I know that was a big moment to get him on stage as the keynote speaker, but can you share a little bit about Tony Robbins, like how that came about? Did you even anticipate that months ago? Was that a recent addition or what happened there?
No, they just asked me who's the biggest speaker that you could think of that would draw the largest audience, and I was like, oh, Tony Robbins, obviously, but let me think, who could we get? You know? And they're like, oh, okay, no, okay, cool, thanks, we'll work on that. I was like, all right, let's do it. I'll tell you, I will tell you, hosting Tony Robbins is obviously going to be a massive milestone for me and a dream that I didn't think that I was going to have. But it's funny, they have these things called riders, and riders are, the classic bowl of green M&Ms type of thing. but Tony Robinson's right. Tony Robbins' rider has cost us a little over $100,000 just to host him at the event. It's been a journey. It's been interesting. It's been fun, and I do have a lot of supporters, but it's for certain things. It was not for the event space. So that 100 grand cost us, but we're so
Wow.
excited to do it because we want everyone to hear Tony Robbins. We want everyone to hear that message. The industry has been through some difficult things, and I know at Powur, Sonova played some games with Jonathan Budd, like dangled carrots in front of him, and I would say, I know this is being recorded, but I would say misled him, which he trusted and misled some of the Powur team. Like that stuff has got to stop. People need to be lifted back up and told this is a beautiful place to be, the solar industry. And I'm really excited for the industry to go and experience that type of warmth and mindset that they can apply for such the crazy time that we've been through in the last year and a half.
I love it. I just throwing it out there. David Goggins lives around me in Vegas here, and I see him jogging with his shirt off. So if you need someone else, we'll get David Goggins.
There you go.
Uh, Tom, where can we go from here? What other questions do we have here? I know probably Jake has 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe left tops, but
If we get Goggins, it might be it might be your ticket's free if you run to the event from wherever you are in the world, right?
Ticket will be free if you catch David Goggins running and lift him up and carry him to the event.
um, Jake, what's one belief about the solar industry that you've completely changed your mind on over the years? What you used to think of, but now you think something different now.
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Let me think on that. I guess I used to think that it was an ultimate resilience. Like we were untouchable. We had an insane amount of backing from the government funding to media going out. We saw that product inside of Costco. If it's not taken care of well enough, and I mean even down to the granular level of each individual on here listening and talking with their homeowners, if it's not taken care of well enough, then that homeowner will dissipate. They won't sign with you. They won't get installed. They won't refer you to other people. And on a grander scale, what I've learned in the solar industry is that it's ours to lose. The way that we nurture our own business and the way that we nurture the company that we work with and the way that we nurture the competitors that we have, all of that has the most insane chain reaction I have ever witnessed in my life. I did not ever think I would be part of such an organization or an industry that would have influence that would go all the way to the White House just on the way that we sold our product. That is that's insane to see that from my view of the power collectively that the solar industry has in the largest, most valuable asset that the world has, and that's power. That's energy. Energy is the most valuable asset in the planet right now, just on a monetization level, dollar value level. I don't mean, well, I think my family is. I don't mean that. I mean the dollars transacted, energy is the largest in the world, and the solar industry, the people in it, you have so much power and influence on what happens in our space on a worldly level. It's crazy to see.
Thanks for sharing that. That's really, really important, I think, especially for people who are newer to the industry and for people who have, been around for a long time. So that's a really good perspective. Thanks for sharing that. Um, is back to SolarCon. Is there anything that somebody should do before they attend SolarCon this year just to try to maximize, their experience and what they take out of the event?
Yes, I'm going to go down to a very basic thing that happens inside of my own head. You're going to have fear. Some of you are like super comfortable going to SolarCon. It doesn't matter. And some of you may be a solo individual. It's like, I don't know if I should go. I don't know anyone that's going to be there. I'm not close with anyone really, and I'm going to be the weird person walking around. Uh, I'll tell you, just get past that fear. Just dive. Take the jump off the cliff. Because if you understand that you have the fear, I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. understand you have it, and then go anyway. And I promise you, with all of the people that are there, you're going to find people to resonate with you. I promise you. And if you don't, have Bernasso or Tom text me, and I will take you under my wing and introduce you to people. I'll get to know you and introduce you to people. I'll be walking around. I think just understand that you have fear and be okay with it is one of the things I would prep yourself for. Another one is a lot of the things that happen after the conference or the event are where a lot of energy comes from in friendships and in networking. A lot of people, as you walk around, solo or not, a lot of people are going to be talking about the things that they're going to be doing later that night, or the groups they're going to be hanging out with, or the places that they're going to go. Don't do yourself a disservice and miss those things. Go to them. That's when the real magic happens. That's when everyone's gone through and heard all of these things, and then they leave and they get to socialize. That's when you turn education into your daily life and reality. And so prepare yourself for that. And also, if you want, if one of the scariest things I have ever done in my life is had a camera on me and started posting that stuff on social media. I don't know why people want to hear the words that I say sometimes, but when I put them on social media, I find that other people feel the same way. They feel the same way. So don't think you're alone. They feel the exact same way and it resonates with them. And if you want to enhance your career and have opportunities showered upon you, be brave enough to speak your mind and take a camera with you or interview people, even with your cell phone, and post it on social media. I know those are kind of three weird things that you probably didn't expect me to say, but those three things I would say would transform you.
I think people listen because of that nice beard you got, Jake, but also you are very authentic and transparent. And if you follow Jake, you know, he's hanging out with his family, with his son, and he's just there's no pride there. So hats off to you, Jake. Let's
Like,
go ahead and have Rick has a question and then we'll move towards closing here. Go for it, Rick.
Hey, Jake. First off, I wanted to thank you for uniting the industry. I think in a world, in an industry like you touched on earlier, that's so divided, what you do, you can't put a value on it. This is what we need, I think, the most is the unity. And going to conferences, solar conferences over the years, there's always value in the speakers and so forth, but where the real magic happens is in the handshakes and the hugs and the coffees and the beers and the relationships that you build and you come out of these conferences with. So kudos to you for uniting the industry in this way. My question is, and you touched a little bit upon it earlier, in your opinion, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing the industry currently? I know you touched on one of them, which is, you know, the compliance, licensing, this kind of thing. Is there anything else that you can kind of pinpoint and potential, you know, solutions for that? So if you want to speak on that real quick.
of what's shifting in the industry, ask that
So,
question.
so yeah, the question is, what do you see as the biggest challenges currently facing the industry? You touched on the compliance issue and licensing. Is there anything else top of mind that you think needs to be really addressed and solved for us to scale? And if so, what would that be, and what would the solution be on that?
Yeah, good question. And you know, sitting on my pedestal, you know, trying to give advice on this is a difficult thing because I've already been through it. I know what it feels like, but having listening to all the noise from the outside that's hitting you, solar industry is going under. It's at a loss. Jump ship and go to another like turf. Are you kidding me? There's people out there saying, in real life, they are saying that turf is their future. And I'm not okay. That was
I've
horrible.
heard the
Maybe
same thing, TERP. I'm like, what?
landscaping. Like I'm not knocking it, I guess, but talk about seeking out the dollar, right? Talk about like what a missed opportunity. Everyone is abandoning ship. The only reason I have grown in my career at all is because when I see everyone running this way, I run the other way. It doesn't make any sense to follow the masses. And I think one of the things that's plaguing our industry right now is all of the outside noise. These financiers are going out of business. You're not going to get paid. Everyone wants to listen to the drama every day. That's why the news exists sometimes, even the morning energy show. People love the drama. Don't like understand it's more for entertainment than anything, or it's weakness leaving people saying, this is my excuse for leaving this. The way solar is operating today, it has never been more valuable to the country than it is than it has been in the past. And that's kind of weird because we've broken records 2 years ago. And then now the industry dipped down in volume, but the value of the dollar exchange for solar has not changed. That value is still there. The issues were internal. The issues were with the businesses that operated. They didn't draft contracts the right way. They hurt people maybe when they shouldn't have. It was self-preservation. Don't judge your opportunity in the solar industry based on some of the mistakes that these leaders make in the industry, right? The opportunity in solar from a dollar standpoint has never been better than it has today. The economics have never been better than they have today. And if you can avoid listening to all the outside noise, everything we've been taught since kindergarten, don't listen to them. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Apply it to your adult life today because solar is where it is at. Don't listen to the noise. That's my advice on that.
Let's go. I love that. Those who stay and play get paid.
Yes.
I think Danny coined that phrase, but I did put Jonathan Budd and Jake's podcast in the chat here, guys. And friendly reminder, Powur will have a booth with some people working the booth with pop-up banners and a private room where we'll be able to host trainings and events as well. And on Tuesday night, April 15th, those of you that are in town, we will be going to the best installer in Las Vegas, RG Electric. We are going to be doing a Powur 4.0 Meet the Installer, See the Warehouse, just 20 minutes from the strip, guys. So Colby, Chris Mitchell, their leadership, RG Electric, Craig, we crush it in Vegas, period. Fastest market around. So in addition to SolarCon, everything we're doing, that event, I'll look forward to that as well. In closing, Jake, I mean, so much wisdom and so much advice, and I think positivity and things to look out for have been shared already, but any closing thoughts you'd like to share for all solar people, new and seasoned pros in general, and looking forward to SolarCon in just almost 2 weeks away?
Yeah, I guess closing statements are just be aware of what is actually happening. Trump, like him or not, declared a national emergency on energy. We're short, and uh, obviously he's kind of against wind. We've all seen that. He's not hiding that. But it seems that the administration is an all power administration. They're for all power minus wind. And that includes solar. And it's weird because we have odd things happening with the tax credits and items like that. Like we don't know what's going to happen. We're in this waiting period, I would say. But regardless of what happens, solar isn't going away. The way that we sell it may be going away, maybe, but solar isn't going away. It's actually very much needed. And you see massive organizations in the country, like Microsoft, like as big as that, that are adopting solar still today because they know the shortage. And an analogy that was given to me is back in the day, I was not alive, but when there was a rally to who's going to go first to the moon, Russia or the US, the way that I understand energy today is uh, it is what will remain to be America will remain to be a superpower if we are the winners of the AI race. AI is the new rocket to the moon. And if we can't house and power AI, we have a shortage on energy. We're not going to be able to do it. And the country that beats us in AI is the country that's going to be the largest superpower. And I think everyone in the country, Biden side or Trump side, the administration knows that energy is a shortage. And every one of them are working together to try to bring more opportunity for energy into the US. As I mentioned before, Trump, he's advocating domestic content. So did Biden's IRA. Like they're in line. And so, yeah, I guess just I'm going to reiterate, don't listen to the noise, look at the facts. We must have energy, we must have power. You are in the right industry. And if you can't make it to SolarCon, definitely go to Powers. conferences. I think there's another one happening from Powur in Las Vegas a little bit later. Is that right, Jonathan?
That's right. End of September, Powur World, Las Vegas, our biggest annual event. Yeah.
I've been to your events, and all of those exact same things I was saying about SolarCon are the same feelings and same experiences that I've had going to Powur events. If you can't make SolarCon, you're not decimating your career. You are in one of the good circles in the industry. I know this because I've been talking with Melissa and the team about coming over and advocating for you and potentially building my own team. I do my research. If anyone has followed me, I do my research well before I go out and publicly say things. You are in a beautiful circle, I promise you. And if you can't make SolarCon, go to the conference that's happening in September for sure.
Well, we appreciate that, Jake. We appreciate the humility and humbleness as well, and your authentic leadership, leading this event, bringing the industry together. I'm super excited for the 4th annual event. I can't believe it's already 4 years strong. So props to you and your team and everyone that's helping you along the way. And
Thank you very much, Jonathan. You've been on so many panels. You've spoke like you have sold a lot of tickets for us and advocated for it always. Thank you, sir.
my pleasure, Jake. Guys, give him some love in the chat if something resonated with you, if you picked up some nuggets, some positivity today. I think this was a great training. And of course, you can connect with Jake on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So
Yeah, Instagram account is Jake Hess. Facebook. Yeah, social media is the place you can find me for sure.
there you go. All right, Jake. Well, have an amazing week. Appreciate you being on here. And again, everyone, if you want to get a ticket, it is free. There's also some hotel room discounts going on, a VIP ticket if you'd like some lunch and private space and better seating as well. So take a look. It's literally 2 weeks away and it is free now. So Powur's going to show up in force. We're going to have a booth. You can buy a t-shirt. Um, you know, we're going to have a private 1,000 square foot room. We're going to have an event at RG Electric, the installer, day 1. We'll probably have a party or two, day 2 or 3. Not at my house, okay? Just putting it out there. Not at my house, somewhere else by the strip. And yeah, thank you everyone for being on. Tom, any last words to share? Any details as we kind of move to some office hour?
No, it's good. I loved having Jake on and hearing from him. That perspective I think is so helpful for many people. I would just say, for all of you in Powur, this coming Monday is our live ops update for all of you who are selling solar, whether you're a sales pro or a closer, the artist formerly known as tier 2 or tier 3. Just really important that Monday call is on your calendar and that you're there. Every single month, people are like asking questions like right after that. We're like, oh, we talked about that on Monday. And it's like, oh, I should have been there. So make sure you're there. Make sure it's on your calendar. It's good for you, your business. You'll be a better resource for your team as well if you're in attendance for those.
Great reminder, Tom. Yeah, I appreciate everyone. So if you do go to powurcalendar.com, April 7th is the operations live update at 12 Pacific. There will be some very valuable nuggets shared and updates on the operation side from an amazing group of executives. So definitely attend that. And one more plug, April 7th, 5 p.m. every Monday now is our Powur Hour brand new business opportunity 4.0 deck. And it's literally 30 minutes long. And yours truly will be running Monday, April 7th. And I will have 2 guests I'll be interviewing as well towards the end about their success, how they've made hundreds of thousands or 7 figures, 2 people, on their success. So my ask of you is April 7th, 5 Pacific, invite a guest or 2. Share that energy. It's free. You get Powur 4.0, a 20-minute certification. It's off to the races. So bring a guest. I will definitely deliver. And let's make it one of the bigger Powur Hours events for team building and recruiting, which gives us passive income and which is some of the best lead gen in the industry. And Powur is literally laying it down in front of our feet, guys. So Monday, operations call and Powur Hour 5 Pacific. Put those on your calendar. I know I'm treating this more like a business every day. We picked up a Wednesday accountability call with some of Powur Hitters leadership, and more events on the calendar as we head into summertime with this new model. I'm ready. So do we have any questions out there? We're going to go ahead and end this recording. We are at 60 minutes since we started early. No April Fool's jokes here today. And